Las Vegas is known worldwide for its nightlife as well as entertainment, but just like any good city, there can be some challenges that come with living here as a resident. By the end of this video, you'll be able to decide if living in Las Vegas has challenges that you can't get over, or if the challenges are not that big of a deal and you can still see yourself calling Las Vegas home. Now, one of the most common things I always hear about living in Las Vegas is it's too hot. And I'm here to tell you, you're right. It does get very hot in Las Vegas during the summertime. But just like the summer, we still have all the seasons here in Las Vegas, including a beautiful spring, a cool winter, as well as an amazing fall. And if we're really being honest, no matter where you go, you're always going to find a hot summer in any city. Most people, when it's very hot in Las Vegas, they're usually going from point A to point B, and they're not actually outside in the sun. During the summertime, Las Vegas is going to experience temperatures that are going to exceed over 100 degrees, and some people don't like that. And because of that, being outdoors during the summertime in Las Vegas can be uncomfortable and cause heat exhaustion. That's why a big thing when it comes to living in Las Vegas, you want to make sure that you're always going somewhere there's cool air inside. One of the biggest recommendations I can make for anyone who's looking to relocate to Las Vegas is whatever home you decide on, make sure it has solar. Now I want to share with you a couple things about living in Las Vegas during the summertime and what you should be doing in order to survive the heat. First and foremost, you should stay hydrated and avoid being outside in the sun during peak heat hours. I personally usually carry a hydro flask with me with ice cold water during the summertime. I also recommend that you get a sunshade for your car. If there's anything that you need to do during the daytime, it's always best to do it as early as possible. Keep blinds and curtains closed during the daytime to block out the sun's heat, and I always say that you should get blackout curtains in your home. As I mentioned to you earlier in this video, you should really consider installing solar panels to reduce your energy bill. Although Las Vegas is located in the desert, we do have occasional monsoons during the summertime. This sometimes can cause heavy rainfall as well as flash flooding. As a whole, Las Vegas does struggle in certain areas when it comes to heavy rainfall, especially if you're on the Strip and you're at the Lic parking garage. Every time we have a strong rainstorm, we always see the Lic parking garage flooding, and there's a lot of activity on the Strip where you can't get through. I want to share with you a couple solutions that you can do when it does rain heavily here in Las Vegas. Stay informed about weather forecasts during the monsoon season. Avoid driving through flooded streets in low-lying areas. Keep drainage systems and gutters clear of debris to prevent water buildup around your property. And consider purchasing flood insurance to protect your home if you live in a flood zone. One thing that you will notice about Las Vegas during the summer months is going to be a higher electric bill. The combination of extreme heat and the need to have consistent air conditioning flowing through your home is going to be a reason why you're going to have an increase on your electric bill. Cooling your home during the hot summer months is definitely going to increase that electric bill, especially if you live in one of those larger homes or an older home. Now, here's a couple solutions that you can use to combat these high electric bills during the summertime. Invest in high energy efficient appliances, including air conditioners and ceiling fans. Schedule regular maintenance for your HVAC system to ensure optimal performance. The last thing you want to happen during the summertime is having your AC break. Truth be told, it's all about being proactive out here in Las Vegas. Once you get a good feel how the weather is in Las Vegas, it's easier to stay on track of what's going on during different seasons. By being proactive here in Las Vegas, you're able to really get the best out of living here. As much as I enjoy living in Las Vegas, it does come with other challenges that a lot of people always talk about, and the main one that I always hear is going to be water shortage. Now let's talk about how water works here in Las Vegas. Since Las Vegas is located in the desert, naturally it's always going to be within a drought. The reality about water shortage in Las Vegas is it's not as bad as non-locals make it out to be. In fact, Las Vegas uses the least amount of water from areas like Lake Mead than other states that have access to it, like Arizona, California, as well as Mexico. To give you some context, the most recent breakdown of water usage is broken down by feet per acre. This data shows that California uses 4.4 million, Arizona 2.4 million, Mexico 1.4 million, and Nevada 242,000. So as you can see, more water is being distributed to other places over Nevada. In order to address water shortages in Las Vegas, there are going to be water restrictions placed during the times of drought. And as of recently, there's a new restriction that limits the size in square feet that you can have for a pool. If you're building a home in Las Vegas, the largest that you can build a pool in that home is going to be 600 square feet. And I get it. You might have a huge home with a really big backyard, so you want to put the biggest pool that you can put back there possible. The only way to get that really big pool in that backyard is to buy a home that was built with a larger pool before this restriction, or you would have to put in a pool that is 600 square feet or less. You can get really creative with your pool design that makes it still water efficient as well as make it really attractive. Now, landscaping is also going to be different here in Las Vegas. It's going to be different with not only the type of plants that you can put outside, but also how often that you can water them. Now, I'm not going to say that natural grass doesn't exist out here in Las Vegas, but it's actually very rare. Most homeowners here in Las Vegas go the route of having turf because it's easier to maintain and it stays green forever. When it comes to landscaping out here in Las Vegas, a lot of people tend to use desert landscaping with plants that don't require that much water. Now, when you live in Las Vegas, you're going to quickly realize that there's going to be locals who are here from all different parts of the country. The joke that goes around out here in Las Vegas is if you're born and raised here, you're actually called a unicorn to others. So let's go a little deeper into the population that you can expect when you live out here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas does attract a large transient population because of hospitality and entertainment industries. As a result, you're going to see a lot of residents come and go frequently here in Las Vegas. I personally enjoy being able to meet so many different people from other states here in Las Vegas because it gives me the opportunity to expand my network and build different types of relationships. The people who usually don't like living in Las Vegas are the people who move out here and try to live like a tourist. There's so much that you can do out here in Las Vegas without ever having to go to the Strip. I think you have the best return on your investment when you are able to establish a long-term residency here and meet different walks of life. Between the amenities, the outdoor recreation, as well as the activities that you could do here in Las Vegas, it's always going to be an attractive place to live. Let's take a quick pause and you all can let me know in the comments if community stability is important for you when you're looking to relocate to a new city. Why or why not? I'd be interested to know. Now, I touched on this next challenge a little bit earlier in this video, and I want to go a little bit deeper on why this is a big challenge here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is no doubt the entertainment capital of the world, and we rely heavily on tourism as well as entertainment. We attract millions of people here every year between our hotels, our casinos, our gaming, as well as the entertainment industry. And even though Las Vegas does generate a lot of revenue and hospitality does drive the economy, it does make us vulnerable to travel pattern fluctuations as well as public health crises. Let's take the pandemic and COVID, for example. During the pandemic, when the Strip was closed for the amount of time that it was, we struggled as an economy and we lost billions of dollars. With so much emphasis on tourism, entertainment, as well as hospitality, we definitely lost a ton of revenue here in the city. But as you know, once we opened back up in here in Las Vegas, we rebounded very quickly. What you saw during the pandemic was a completely different experience that I don't think we will ever see again. Being able to walk down the Strip and literally see no one was a different experience that I never thought I would see here in Las Vegas. But now that we have rebounded from that time during the pandemic, the Strip has rebounded and it's a completely different experience. And we all know tourism can sometimes be seasonal, and that can affect the amount of activity and money being spent here in Las Vegas. Jobs that are going to be in the hospitality, gaming, and entertainment industry can have fluctuations with their demand, and you may have less hours or less work available. Now, I think the next subject that I want to talk to you about that I think is the biggest complaint I hear about people moving to Las Vegas is the education system. The education system here in Las Vegas typically doesn't rank very high when it comes to school rankings, and we usually rank at the bottom of the list. The low ranking here in Las Vegas is typically going to come from high student to teacher ratios, low funding, and limited access to technology. So what does this all mean? I'll tell you, it doesn't mean that if your child goes to a public school here in Las Vegas, they're going to be unsuccessful. It simply means that their schooling options on the public school level are going to be a little limited. Many of my clients who relocate here to Las Vegas and they do have children, they usually go the private school route. And the reason why they usually go the private school route is because private schools in Nevada are ranked very high. We have some of the best in the country. But the best overall schools in Las Vegas is going to be found in a master plan community called Summerlin. Summerlin has the most schools to choose from as well as the most options. Let me quickly break down what the options that you have when it comes to schooling in Summerlin. In Summerlin, there are 9 public elementary schools, 3 public middle schools, 1 public high school, and 2 public charter schools. There's 9 private schools for pre-K all the way up to 12th grade. Some of the private schools only go up to 5th or 8th grade. As far as high schools, there are 4 private high schools in Summerlin. Since Summerlin is the largest master plan community in Las Vegas, it has the most options when it comes to school choices. This is the reason why many families look to relocate here from other cities like California. If you were to compare other master plan communities in Las Vegas to Summerlin, your school option choices are going to be smaller. Let's take Southern Highlands, for example. In this master plan community, you only have 4 public elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 private high school that is pre-K all the way up to the 8th grade. Because of this limited schooling options, especially in Southern Highlands, many residents in other parts of Las Vegas end up changing their child's school after the 8th grade to get into a private school. We all know Nevada's public education system struggles in some areas, but given the right situation, your family can use these options that are available for you. Whether you're new to my channel or you've been here for a while, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Chris Brown and I'm a real estate advisor with Simply Vegas. Here on my channel, I'll help you find your new home whether you're a local or relocating from somewhere else. I would appreciate it if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell so you don't miss any of the good, the bad, the ugly about living in Las Vegas. If you happen to be watching this video on your TV, please scan the QR code on the screen so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. If you would like to reach out to me directly, you can use my contact information linked in the description below. Now let's talk about public transportation here in Las Vegas. And I will admit, Las Vegas has limited public transportation options for those of you who don't have a car functional on every day. The public transportation system here in Las Vegas is called the Regional Transportation Commission, and it does offer limited routes in comparison to other larger metropolitan cities. Even though there are bus routes that serve many parts of the Las Vegas Valley, there are going to be some suburban cities that do get missed. Public transportation in Las Vegas is also going to have limited hours for those of you who are going to be working in the late nights until the early mornings. Now, this can be a challenge for those of you who have to rely on public transportation and get to work that are going to be off the normal hours. Because of these limitations, many residents who live in Las Vegas often rely on rideshare services like Lyft or Uber. Now, I will say the public transportation system has expanded a little bit in Las Vegas, especially if you're closer towards the Strip. The addition of Elon Musk and the Boring Company's Tesla tunnel has made it easier to get around from the convention center to downtown to Resorts World and upcoming to the airport. Right now, there are multiple stops available to get around in the Tesla loop, but there's even more coming in the future. Now, living in Las Vegas does come with other challenges like noise as well as light pollution. And I mentioned to you earlier in this video about Las Vegas being the entertainment capital of the world. So if you do choose to live somewhere closer to the Strip, you are going to experience a little bit of light as well as noise pollution. With the constant stream of entertainment venues, pedestrians, as well as cars driving through, you are going to experience this to some degree. But if you've been on my channel for a while, you already know that I talk about living in Las Vegas away from the Strip and other communities where you don't have to listen to all the light as well as noise pollution. I think it really depends on what your lifestyle is and what you want as a lifestyle when you're in Las Vegas. A popular area in Las Vegas that many of my clients like relocating to is an area called Sky Canyon. This master plan community is known for its quietness as well as its distance from the Strip with a peaceful lifestyle. Right now, I'm working with some clients who are relocating to Las Vegas from San Diego, and they elected to choose a home in Sky Canyon. This home is going to be finished later this year, and the reason why they chose that destination as where they chose to relocate is because of how quiet it was and spaced out away from the city. The beauty about living in Las Vegas is how many communities we have to choose from. No matter what your lifestyle is, you can find a community in Las Vegas that fits that lifestyle. We even have some communities that are going to be zoned for horses in some areas. Let's take a quick poll in the comments. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rank some of the challenges that I've mentioned today as far as tolerance when it comes to living in Las Vegas? Are some things make or break, or are there some things that you can live with and it's not that big of a deal? Share your feedback with me in the comments. Since the pandemic, Las Vegas has experienced so many people relocating here because of the cost of living and affordability. This in return has caused changes to the housing market and increased prices because of inventory. Now, historically, Las Vegas has always been prone to cycles in the housing market. If you're looking at the market now, I'll be honest with you, there's a ton of homes on the market that are overpriced than what they should be priced at. But that's not really a Las Vegas issue, that's a nationwide issue. And the reason why that's a nationwide issue is because of lack of inventory. No matter what housing market that you're in, supply and demand is always going to play a huge factor. When you have a low demand as well as a high supply, there's always going to be lower prices. When you have a lower supply and a higher demand, prices are going to be higher. And I know we have talked about it a lot in the current housing market that there's a low inventory. Yes, the inventory is low, but we also have higher interest rates as well as higher home prices. And we've all been waiting for the feds to lower those interest rates in the hopes that that brings down the home prices. But let me break something down to you why that probably won't happen. Right now in the housing market, we simply don't have enough houses to meet the demand of all the buyers that are out in the market. As a result, home prices are actually higher than what they should be. And that's because there's a lot of buyers out there who can't qualify with the current interest rates. But let me break this down to you. As soon as interest rates come down, a lot of the people who couldn't qualify for a home at those higher rates are now going to be able to have buying power to buy a home when these rates come down. That is going to be the plan for many people, including you, that are looking to buy a home. So again, as I mentioned to you, the supply and demand, when you have a low supply and a high demand, prices are going to go up. So that's why if interest rates come down, I see prices going up even higher than what they are than actually coming down because of the lack of inventory. Now I want to get into something very important for those of you who have families: healthcare. The population here in Las Vegas has grown so fast that it's put a big strain on the healthcare industry. The demand for healthcare professionals here in Las Vegas is at an all-time high because we simply don't have enough to meet the demand of all the people that are relocating here. And I know for those of you who are relocating to Las Vegas, it's important for you to understand the healthcare options because of your family. Healthcare premiums in Las Vegas can vary depending on your age, your plan type, your coverage level, as well as pre-existing conditions. Now I want to go a little bit deeper on the cost premiums that you can expect to spend when you're buying healthcare here in Las Vegas. The average monthly premium for an individual in Las Vegas ranges from $300 to $600, while family plans average between $800 to $1,500 a month. These numbers can fluctuate, so it's always a good idea to explore different insurance providers and plan options to find coverage that best fits your needs and budget. For those without health insurance coverage, a typical primary care doctor visit in Las Vegas without insurance can range from $100 to $200 for a routine appointment. Urgent care clinics are alternatives for non-emergency medical issues, costing you anywhere from $150 to $300 without insurance. A basic dental checkup, including a cleaning and an examination, can cost anywhere between $100 to $200 without insurance. More extensive procedures such as fillings or extractions will include an additional charge. Now, me personally, I don't have a dental plan here in Las Vegas because I maintain my cleanings every 6 months. I pay about $475 a year, and that includes 2 cleanings, x-rays, as well as emergency visits. About 2 years ago, I finished an Invisalign treatment, so I don't really need as much dental work as other people might. If you have to visit a specialist out here in Las Vegas, you can expect to spend about $200 to $500 without insurance. What I always recommend out here in Las Vegas when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to dental, or when it comes to vision, I always think it's a great idea for you to explore your options so that you can see which ones have the best benefit for you and your family. You may not need every healthcare insurance that is available, and you might only need health, but you don't need vision or you don't need dental. So it's something to explore as you look at different options here in Las Vegas. For more videos about relocating to Las Vegas or Henderson, click on one of the other videos on the screen. I appreciate you all watching. I'll see you on the next one.